This episode, I want to talk about how young Jeezy and Terrell Owens helped me define my career. I guess, inspired me to tackle my career, and how creative collaboration at its core is one of my most important values and coveted values, and how it got me here today in front of the camera talking to you. So, welcome to another episode of Casual Mondays, where I share my experience as a creative entrepreneur who has built a agency that I sold, and now I'm back in the mix building another agency called Bright Colors, and I'm here to hopefully help young creatives and young creative entrepreneurs with the existing agency they built, or go from a lone creator to being an agency owner, or if you're a creative who works at an agency, leaving an agency and starting your own agency. Because I really do believe that a huge part of creativity is entrepreneurship, and that every creative should work for themselves and have the amazing and challenging, beautiful experience that I've had in my career to be not only creating great work that I put my name to, but do it for my own agency. If you're claiming you want to start a creative agency, if you don't understand how to collaborate, A, with other creatives, B, with account people, C, with strategists, D, with producers, photographers, directors, and other creators, like, you have no agency and career. You might as well turn back. And to do that, you need to understand creative collaboration. And for me, that started way before influencers, way before, like, I've been collaborating with amazing, talented people for my career. I mean, I was thinking about, I was playing Young Jeezy today, and I remember I did a Boost Mobile. I worked with Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile, we worked with a ton of amazing celebrities, but my last one, which was like probably the most fun, was we were working with Young Jeezy. And at the time, Thug Motivation, I think it was his album, just came out. I mean, he was like the king. I mean, him and T.I., it was like a battle for who was the king of Atlanta, but he was definitely streetwise the king of Atlanta. It's Tuesday, I'm in New York, and Jesus manager like, he wants to meet with you at his favorite restaurant at 10 o'clock at night. So I jump on a plane in New York. I'm in Atlanta by 7 or 8 o'clock at night, 7 or 8 o'clock. We're in Spondivits, which is like his favorite fried fish joint, by 10 o'clock, and we're meeting, and we're kind of creatively concepting what we're going to do. It was so funny. We're there to talk about, back then it was an ad. This is like 2005 or 6. So this is pre-social media, no influencer, like before influencer marketing. We're hiring this person to be in an ad, and we're trying to concept what we want the ad to be. And he's kind of selling me out of doing ads. He's like, I don't even want to do ads. People just want to buy what I have. They want to buy what I drink. They want to buy what I do. They want to buy what I use. The foundation of the 88 did start with this conversation with Young Jeezy, where I realized that no one cared about traditional advertising before even social media. His whole point was, people just want to live my life. That's what I am. And like, they want to drive the car I drive. So like, we're just going to make this thing fit in my life. So I'm like, well, then why don't we it ended up us at a club. He's like, you want to see how I really live? And we actually went to a club and had a crazy night together. It was super, super fun. But the predicate of that was the idea to like just shoot in Spondivits. We actually went back and shot the ad. We're like, fine, this is how you live. So we had him pull up in, I think it was a Ferrari or Lambo. We did a Boost Mobile ad. It was like a moment to his life. This photographer, Clay Patrick McBride, been working with at the time. He just did this amazing spread for XXL with Jay-Z in being the president. He just has a really good eye, and he at that time shot in different format cameras. It was a still shoot. We had Jeezy's car. All his friends had it was like Lambo, Ferraris. They pull up it was like a car show at this fish restaurant. We had him pulling up, him getting in the car, him in front of the place, him having a meal with his friends. The ad wasn't even an ad. It was him using the phone in his car at his favorite restaurant with his friends, which is like every influencer brief ever. So I'm not claiming I started influencer marketing, Young Jeezy did, but just able to collaborate, and like, I'm going there on behalf of me, the client. I try to figure out, what are we going to do? And in the brainstorm, being open in the moment to collaborate and understand the value, not being like, oh, I know better. I do advertising, I do marketing. I'm not going to tell you how to launch an album. Don't tell me to do an ad. The exact opposite is, I always start at level playing field. To be a great collaborator, you need to have 3 things. First and foremost is actual curiosity and intrigue about the person you're working with, right? I would say do your homework. There was a time actually when I did this whole Vitamin Water campaign early on, where I worked with a bunch of sports celebrities I didn't know. So I would watch their footage, I would watch interviews. I had to find what intrigued me about them. Not just having curiosity, but there's something intriguing. I'm not a fan of I'm not a huge football fan, and I might not be a huge fan of their team, but we were working with Brian Herlocker. When I worked with Terrell Owens early in my career, again, it was actually like New Year's Day, maybe 2006, 2007. We were doing a Boost mobile ad. He was actually, at the time, suspended for some locker room, I don't know, something happened. Anyway, I wasn't a huge football fan. I wasn't a Terrell Owens fan, or not. What was it? Not a fan. I was neither. I don't follow football. I kind of did my research, and I just really got into this, that he had his phrase, like, get your popcorn ready, meaning like that was like, yeah, I just liked to get a tagline. Working in advertising, when you do your research and you start to delve into the career of someone, what stood out? And for some reason, I just thought that was like funny that he kind of pre-meme created his own tagline for his career. So when I was meeting him for the first time, I had intrigue. I was interested in what he had to say and having confidence. Second is humility to me. So first is intrigue and curiosity into the person, and that's delving into them and getting below the surface of just how do they become famous or how do they excel in their career, but it's something intriguing with them. Number two, part of creative collaboration, which is definitely understanding humility. And people have kind of a misconception of humility, sometimes thinking that it's about being meek. Humility is understanding the line, understanding what you can do, what you bring to the table, but having the confidence and understanding to like also accept when someone else has to bring to the table. So that kind of humility isn't from a meek place. And when you're working with someone who has a lot of success and is well respected, you gotta come on and have a confidence to you, but at the same time, be open to understand and listen to what they're doing. Again, going back to working with young Jeezy, I'm going there to figure out what the ad is, and instead of saying, Jeezy, this is like what it should be, I'm like open and thinking, and I'm processing and I'm absorbing what he's saying and what he's thinking, and like translating that into what is eventually at that time was an ad, and making it not saying, oh, that's impossible, or that doesn't, what your lifestyle is, like that's pointless, that's so obvious. I was able to translate that through the humility of being present and there to collaborate, right? And then collaborated with young Jeezy on Belvedere also. So we worked on a couple projects together, which was a blast. He was really fun to work with. And I think last but not least, you better deliver. And delivering something that really comes down to having an accurate understanding of your own skills. But at the end, it's like, if you're gonna commit to doing something, you better deliver. And in my case, it's being a creative director. Creatively, you better deliver at the caliber of the expectation of that person. When you're working with a notable person, it's like their reputation is on the line. Their skills have taken them to a certain point in their career, whether it be music or sports or acting, but now they have to obviously what they put in the world has to equal their craft. So when I'm doing at that time, an ad with young Jeezy, it has to equal what a track would be when he's releasing with the record company. Or if I'm doing an ad with Terrell Owens, it would have to be equal to his play on the field. So I need to step up and to be able to kind of execute at the level to match, not my competitor, but my collaborator. So again, the core to it is understanding what you bring to a collaboration, understanding what people mean and not what they're saying. I'm really good at having the ability to find the way into different worlds. I'm sort of a chameleon in a sense where I have to adapt to the brand, adapt to that person, and then creatively express that in a way that hopefully is compelling, interesting, entertaining, whatever, funny, whatever, depending on the execution we're trying to do. And across my career, when I said to find your values, to look back at what have you done successfully in your career, and I've successfully collaborated with a range of amazing people. And I don't say it to brag. It's how do you get in the room with these people? It's successfully doing something and having examples of your work and reputation and experience gets you into that room. And it just takes one moment. A lot of people start their career on the road with celebrities, either on tour with an artist, shooting videos for them or getting content, or whether it's, you step into a brand situation and the brand is working with someone and someone's like, oh man, I really liked your photos or your video, or I really liked your ideas. And then building a relationship with that person that can go far and beyond just that project. But creative collaboration with someone who's notable and respected for creativity is a way to really raise the bar for you and your career, your reputation. Yes, maybe there is value early in your career for doing some work with a notable person for less than your normal rate because the long-term bigger value that it brings. But in turn, there has to be a twist where you are getting paid properly for what you do. So again, just jumped right in. I'd love to share other stories and experience I've had of my career around creative collaboration, and along the way, sharing different principles that I think can help you where you are at now. Because you can say, Harry, dude, I'm not working with celebrities, but if you understand how to creative collaborate with that smaller brand or young designer or up and coming artist, that will scale. Hope you're starting to wake up strong. Hope all's good, and I'm out.